Good day, Sun Lakes. Hi, I'm Brian Garlington, and welcome to Sports Corner and Tips from the Pros. In a different segment, we talked about how many greens the pros hit and when to select whether to putt, chip, or pitch in order to hopefully save your par. Right now, we're actually on number 7 of the championship course, and I've got myself in a little trouble here. This is where I want to pitch the ball, and the reason I want to pitch the ball versus chipping the ball is I want to get this ball in the air and land it soft on the green. I've kind of got everything going against me here. I've got a bunker in front of me here. I've got a green that's running away from me. So I'm going to want to make sure I get this ball up in the air. And I wanted to teach you on how to hit this shot. First of all, let's select the right club. Right now I have a 58-degree wedge. If you have a 60-degree wedge, great. If you have a 56-degree wedge or sand wedge, that's also good. I don't think if you're getting a pitching wedge or a 9-iron, 8-iron, that isn't the club to use for this shot. You want something as high lofted as you have in your bag because you're going to want to get this ball up in the air and land it nice and soft. So there's a couple of things we want to do in our setup that's going to help us get that ball up in the air. So the first thing we want to do is we want to talk about our ball position. A ball position is very key. In the chip, we had our stance nice and narrow, and we had our hands nice and set forward. As you can see with my club here, I've really de-lofted that club. So I've taken the club which naturally sits like this, and I've done this to it and I've de-lofted it. Well, that's going to come out really low with not as much spin on it. Well, we want to do the exact opposite. We want loft, so we want to make sure that we are utilizing our ball position and our hand position to where we use the loft of the club. So that's why we're going to want to set this ball position up forward in our stance, because if you can see my hands now, my hands are over the ball, but look at the loft. This was the chip, and this is going to be the pitch, so you can see there's a lot more loft on the club. The second thing we want to make sure we're doing is that when we're swinging, we want to make sure that we break our wrists on the way back. The reason is we want to get this club up into this position here, so when we actually come down, that ball is going to pop up in the air. It's part of physics. The steeper angle of attack, the higher the ball is going to get in the air. Now, one of the mistakes I see a lot of amateurs make is that they do happen to get the club up into this position, but the next thing they do is they decelerate or slow the club head down, and what happens when we do that is the club likes to shut. So a lot of shots come off very low and run too far, or what they do is if they break down and try to release the club so they can get underneath it, they will chunk it or skull it. So we want to make sure that when we take our club back and break our wrists, when we come through, we want to make sure that our hands are still leading the club head. On every shot you hit in golf, your hands should lead the club head. Okay? So why don't I go ahead and demonstrate one here for you. So I'm going to go ahead and set up my stance a little wider than I was with the chip. My ball position is forward of center. As you can see, I've got loft on the club. I'm not trying to de-loft the club. And when I swing, I'm going to take the club back, and I'm going to make sure that the club gets up into this position. I break those wrists on the way back, and when I come through, I'm going to go ahead and come through with my hands in front of the club head. So here we go. And it came off with a lot of spin, and I think I'll take that shot. I'm going to try it again. Ball position forward. We're going to get the club up into this position here, and we're going to come through. That one landed a lot softer. Try one more here. Thank you, and this was Tips from the Pros.